Okay, this is a new thing I'm going to do where I'm just going to talk about, like, what we see in the news. The things that make the news, the things that are important enough to have, like, newspapers and reporters and people cover and make it onto TV. The stuff that they believe is relevant as compared to the stuff that really is relevant, that should be talked about. So anyway, what I'm going to talk about today is this story about this officer that went to an Arby's, right? And what she said was that the clerk and the manager refused to serve her, right? That they were, let me see if I can find the actual quote. Well, what happened was the officer, Sergeant Jennifer Martin, wrote an incident report, and she said they seemed slightly rude and short while they were taking her order at the drive-thru. And then this manager, and her, the name was Angel Mirabal, told the cop at the window, Davenport, the person, doesn't want to serve you because you're a police officer. So, of course, the officer was like, she felt unsafe eating the food after Marabal's comment because, you know what's going to happen, right? Or what she believes is going to happen is that they're going to spit in it. You know, they're going to, like, grab a handful of ass hairs and just sprinkle it all over her food or fart on it or squirt some piss or jerk off into a burger, whatever. I don't know, right? So, anyway, Davenport, who is black, as you can see in the photo, he says his manager's remark was like he was making a joke. But the officer, who's white, was like, they didn't think it was funny, you know, because that's what happens a lot. These officers overreact. So what really happened was they just couldn't serve the officer Martin because they were busy with other customers, you know. So I guess, I don't know if this officer was like, I'm busy, serve me first, I'm an officer, you know. And what they're saying is that the officer spun that into a dim-witted joke or crack about police tensions, you know. The officer just escalated. You know, they escalate now. It's not like where they should, like, not overreact. Why overreact? You know, not like shoot somebody, not strangle somebody, not arrest somebody, not make a big deal over everything. Anyway, the kid Davenport too. He even said he said would I refuse service to an officer? No. You know, for what? She's hungry, and I'm gonna give her some food. He said. Well, anyway, what happened out of this was the police put out a press release saying that the officer was turned away from the sandwich restaurant the night before, and they just escalated again. They made it into a big issue, a big racial tension. I don't know. It's not a big deal as it should be. I don't know why this is news. You know, so, and they, like I said, they put it on their Facebook page, and they put out a press release, and a couple hours after the police press release, you know, and all of a sudden, another officer's calling for all the cops nationwide to boycott Arby's because of a bad joke, and now all the police boycott Arby's because they're not cop friendly. I mean, come on. Arby's did apologize, and even the chief, Dan Gustino, he considered the matter closed by Wednesday afternoon. But here it is in the news, you know. Oh, and on a side note, the two employees, of course, got fired, you know. So because this officer decided to make a big deal out of a little joke, these poor people are now out of a job. But you know, fuck them. Who cares, right? It is what it is. And also, all the local competitors of Arby's, they capitalized on the conflict, and they all of a sudden said, like, McDonald's and Whole Foods are donating free breakfast to the department Thursday morning because I guess they wanted to get some good press in on the back of Arby's bad press. Even though Arby did apologize and fire the employees, you know, it made it to the news. Yay. I'd still like to hear more about something like the TPP. That'd be interesting to learn about. But no, I know all about this poor kid and the manager in Florida. They got fired because a police officer went and filed a complaint and fucked up their lives over a bad joke because they were worried somebody was going to spit in their food.